Hello everyone, so in this video I'm actually doing a very exciting unboxing, which is the DJI's OSMO Mobile. This one actually is a 3-axis gimbal that's actually attached to your phone, which I have my iPhone 7 Plus over here. So I'm going to do an unboxing and maybe a quick pair up and see how the thing works, because I think this is great for video content creators if you actually make a lot of video using your cell phones. And also over here, a small box is actually the stand for the OSMO Mobile. So let's go ahead and open up the main package. And this one I actually bought from DJI's flagship store in Miami. It's actually in Wynwood. This is a refurbished version, which it says right here. The open box, excellent. So basically it's a refurb and comes with 1-year warranty. So we shouldn't, thank you. Let's find a place to open it. It's kind of like a iPhone design, like Apple packaging, mostly white. And I had their DJI Phantom 4 drone before. Their design was also very good. Okay, so plastic wraps off, open up the box. And by the way, this thing sells for about 100, refurb model sells for about, I think, 159 somewhere on Amazon. So I'll post the link below and you guys can go over and take a look. So right here is the actual device. Comes with a user manual. Alright, so user manual is right over here. Osmo Shield, I think it's a warranty. Osmo Mobile Quick Start Guide, right over here. It comes with a whole bunch of different languages. So yeah, it covers basically every language. Let's find the English version. Take a quick look. Tells me all the component parts and features really quick. And of course I need to download the DJI Go app, which I already had. Also install the battery and balance the phone. Okay, so let's get started. So over here, looks like it's the USB cable, maybe. This is the power cable. Damage may require power cable attached to any other device. Okay, so basically it looks like a headphone jack, but it's actually a power cable only for the OSMO Mobile. So don't mess it up and connect it to other like headphone jacks and stuff, because your headphone might get screwed up. Okay. So one end is USB and the other it looks like a standard headphone jack. So be extra careful. And over here is the battery. Looks like a brand new battery, hopefully it is, and it's a 980 milliamp battery. From the specification it says it runs for about, I think, maximum of 4.5 hours, but average of around 3 hours. That's what I read. So basically also a little carry strap, that's quite nice. What else we have? And this is the actual main device right here. Let's see if I can take it out. Quite nice. It's itself feels like a camera. Right now without battery, it's super light on the grip area, and it's quite heavy on the top because it's a 3-axis gimbal and it's all aluminum design, which looks very sturdy to me. So yeah, and now let's put the battery in, so hopefully it balances a little bit. Very easy basically just, I guess, line up the shape and push it in. Hopefully I'm at the correct side. Okay, so that's correct. And lock it. And let's see. So the power button is on the right side. See if I turn it on, what happens? Nothing. So basically, I probably need to charge the battery a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and charge the battery and come back and continue this review. I actually just had the Osmo charged and ready to go. It took about, I think, 2 hours something to charge, fully charge. And so I actually went ahead and set it up on, with my iPhone 7 Plus, as you can see right here. The initial setup, it's not very hard. The first thing you have to do when you actually put your phone on is, of course, the locking mechanism. It's actually a knob. So basically, like, if you rotate this knob, it goes up and down like that. So basically, you open it up and then you slide the phone in, and then you rotate it into the locking position, and it locks very tight and nice. And the first time you lock it onto the device, it's probably gonna be imbalanced. So the device is gonna be like that. So you actually have to manually balance the device, which you balance through a knob on the horizontal gimbal. There's a little knob over here. Basically, you lose the knob, and if you have the knob loose, you can adjust this little free play over here to find a good tipping point. So right here, now it's a little unbalanced. I'm gonna pull it out a little more. And now, as you can see, it actually balances in place. So, and that, I would say that's kind of a good position. Maybe turn it in just slightly. And try it again. And now, as you can see, it is balanced on the thing perfectly. So once it's balanced, make sure you tighten the knob that's used to balance. So now it's fully tightened, and it rotates nicely or whatever. It just balances over here, like it looks like it's floating. So once you have it balanced and locked into the mount, you just press the power button, which is right over here, to turn the device on. So press it down 1.5 seconds, and you can see it's powered on. So once it's powered on, you can see it actually, now it's actually working perfectly. It like sticks into one place when I actually hold the trigger right over here to lock the device, and hold it there. If I don't press the trigger, it just smooths out all the movements of the video, like that. You can also do horizontal shooting by turning the camera this way, and it automatically do that. And of course, you can also smooth out all your movements and have the camera just tilt right over there, which is like super cool. The degree, of course, the degree of motion is limited. So right now it's fine, but if I tilt to a certain angle, as you can see, it switches back to horizontal mode. And when I double tap, it centers the camera to point to the front. There's a joystick over here. What's wrong?
没什么，我就看看你怎么做的。
哦。
我会吵到你吗？
完全没有。So turning the camera to the front, or to your control area, there is a joystick that you can use to control the movement of the camera, up and down, left and right, which is pretty neat. And you can adjust the turning speed. This is the medium turning speed, which I personally prefer. I find the slow turning speed a little bit too slow. and the fast one a bit too quick. Over here there are two simple buttons. One is for shutter and one is for record. And those two buttons works with the DJI Go app, the device itself. I think it might also work for the in-camera app, like the Apple's integrated camera app. I'm not sure. I'm gonna testing a little bit, but the control is very simple. And on the right side, there's a little thing. It's actually a little cap. You unscrew the cap. There's a tripod mount. So for the Osmos, the tripod mounts on the side. I know the new Osmos 2 that's gonna come out. They actually move this tripod mount to the bottom for easy mounting, but I think this actually works pretty decent. When you put your tripod's ball head to the sideways, it works just fine. I mean, there's no need to get their own the tripod mounting accessories or whatever. So there you have it. This is the basic controls, and now I'm gonna actually move to the forward, move back to the video camera over there, so I can show you guys how the DJI Go app works within this with this Osmos. So alright, right over here I have the power on, so I double tap, it goes to the center, which is pretty cool. So I move it over there or move it to some other place. I double tap, it goes to the center. Over here, and double tap, goes back to the center, and it will always try to smooth out the action. When it smooth out the action, it's not necessarily going to go to the center. So as you can see right now, it's a little tilted, and all you need to do is double tap, and it goes right into the center, which is pretty neat. Also the movement of, you know, up and down, if you double tap, it also goes back to the center like that. Nice, eh? Alright, so you can also manually just slightly move the device like that to position your initial shot. So I'm gonna actually turn on the camera, actually open up the DJI Go app. So right over here, so that's it. Alright, so as you can see, the app itself is not very reliable because right now it's kind of screwed up. So I'm gonna exit the app. Oh, well, there goes the demo. I know the DJI Go app sometimes freezes up when I was using my Phantom 4, but this is crazy because it freezes on the first start, and it's not even responding to my button clicks. That sucks. Wow. So I'm gonna do a hard reset, unfortunately. Of course, holding the volume down and power button to do a hard reset. All right. I'm actually gonna close the power. So now the power is off, so the indicator light goes off. I'm just gonna wait and restart my phone. So when I was doing the test or the application setup with the DJI Go app, it actually worked just fine. I don't know why when I was doing this demo in front of the camera, it just decides to freeze up and die, which was totally surprising to me. And then it locked up my home button, so when I was pressing my home button, it doesn't even work. That sucks. Anyway, in the meantime, let's unbox the little stand right over there, which I actually tried in their store, which I think is good for holding the actual thing itself, because without that, you're just going to be laying it like that, which looks pretty unprofessional, if you ask me. So, you know, my phone just rebooted, so let's unbox this little thing. It's only $10. So it doesn't cost much. It's a basic plastic stand with like a little lock to lock the device over there. Some manuals. And here's the little stand, very basic. On the bottom there's two rubber feet. So you sit it over there, and there's a push button lock. So basically you put the device in, it locks itself, and you push it, and you take it out. Okay, like that. So let's put it on and give it a try. All right, so this is the front. So let's see if it works. And by the way, when I was doing the unboxing earlier, I missed the little bag that they give you to put the device in. Looks to be useful, so good to have it. All right, move everything aside. Here's the little stand. I'm just gonna put it right here. And it locks like that, it clicks. So basically it locks into the place. I'm gonna turn the power back on. Hopefully it goes back to the middle. And it's starting. Initializing. I'm not sure what that little light means. Okay. So basically I have to, I guess, press the lock button twice to get it centered. So now the device is fully functioning when it displays the little green light. And now go back to my DJI Go app. Hopefully this time it doesn't freeze. And now it's at the interface to ask me to connect. So I'm gonna go ahead and say connect. All right, now it's connected. As you can see, it actually displays whatever that I'm seeing in the camera. And of course, I'm using the button to control. So double tap, center, which is pretty nice. So let's go through some of the manual settings. So basically, here's your device setting. By going, there's camera settings. Sorry for the smudges on the screen. It's a cell phone. So video resolution, the default is actually at 720p. So I actually changed it to 4K. So that was fine. And then there's gimbal setting. You can calibrate the horizontal. The gimbal's horizontal, I guess, level, and you can also do auto calibration, which takes, I guess, a minute or two to complete. And there's a configuration for the movement. Right now, it's at slow movement. Let's try middle and down. See how fast is middle. Oh, it's slightly faster. I'm gonna change it to fast and see how fast it is. So that's fast, which is pretty fast. It's almost too fast. Double tap center. And okay, so I think the coolest thing is actually when you press on the locking button, the camera just freezes into place like that. I think that's like the coolest thing to me, especially when you're doing like a panning shot. And it just locks over there, which is like super cool. Let's do a test shot, and I'll show you guys in the video. Let's find a little bottle cap. It looks like my lens is pretty dirty. Clean my lens. And one thing I want to point out is why the reason the lens is pretty dirty is because I have to take my case off to fit the thing onto the device, because with my big, not so big, with my fairly normal standard size case, the thing wouldn't even fit the casing. So unfortunately I have to take the case off, which actually makes the lens really easy to get smudged. So that's a bummer, but here we go. I'm gonna demo the locking action. So if I'm gonna lock onto this, I'm gonna record. And then I'm gonna do a panning action like that. Just like that. So if I unlock it, oops, takes a little getting used to, but once you get the grip, it's very easy. So if I do a horizontal pan, So I locked it, and I'm gonna pan it like that. And normally, so now it's unlocked, and that's the action of like moving horizontally. And maybe you can do a vertical pan, so I'm gonna lock it. And it locks like that. And if I unlock it, you can see the movement is not as smooth. And if I lock it again, you can see that the general position of the bottle does not change much. Now I unlock it, and you can see it's jumping around. So pretty cool. Another thing, very neat feature, is the I guess facial recognition or like pattern tracking. So right here, that's a knob to switch. So right now it's at like focus mode. So you press on the space that it focuses. You can adjust the brightness a little bit. And when you go into this little green, you can track the bottle. So if I track this device, as you can see now it's tracked. So it actually moves around and tracks the device, which is like super neat. Let me put the bottle a little far away. And this also works for, so it just tracks it. It also works for face pretty decently well. So if you want to record someone's face, you can just double tap on the thing that you want to track, and it starts tracking. The only problem I find is that you can't really track, let me stop the recording. You can't really track yourself if you want to set up your device at one point and you go far away. It wouldn't be able to set up a automatic track for you. So I haven't figured out how to do that. Maybe there's a way. So to exit, I basically hit exit and then it stops tracking. I haven't figured out a way to track myself when I set up the device at one point and go to another place. It looks like you physically have to have someone to click your face for it to actually track you. I'll try to see if it's possible that I switch to the selfie mode. So basically, if I press it 3 times, it actually switches to the front camera, which is me right over here, and the case looks pretty fancy, and that's my wife's phone. So yeah, here we go. I'm not sure if it would work if I click on my own face, or if I click something and then I switch back, it would be able to track. Looks like it's not tracking, because if it's tracking, it would say like exit, but it's not exiting. So if I hit track, let's see, if I hit track and if I flip, unfortunately it resets back to normal. So I guess that's the limitation. It would be really nice to have some sort of gesture to be able to actually track myself fairly far distance. If someone who's watching this video knows how, please let me know, and that will be greatly appreciated. Appreciate your input. So to switch back and forth with front and back camera, you basically just press it 3 times fairly quickly. And of course, within the with the DJI Go app, you can use the physical buttons, or you can just press over here and switch between video and camera mode manually. So that's a still mode, and that's a video mode. Over here on this icon, it's basically to connect and disconnect the device. Over here, let's see, I don't know what this is for. This might be, okay, this is the standard like adjustments for the camera settings. Beauty effects. Apparently there's this thing that makes your skin looks nice, I guess, or removes the wrinkles and stuff like that, for when you're doing a vlog and stuff like that. So you can turn on the beauty mode. Unfortunately, it only supports 720p, which sucks. Turn it off, so back to 4K, and so that's a mode. Video resolution you can also change over here instead of in the settings. Somehow it just disconnected, weird. And of course, let's go check some other settings. Manual adjust. I guess I can adjust the shuttle manually. Interesting. And the white balance manually, or I can just set everything to fully auto mode. So pretty neat. Of course, those settings you won't be able to do with the Apple's integrated camera, or maybe Android's integrated camera. Maybe you are able to do it with Android, just not Apple. So I'm going to turn the manual adjustment off, just do everything automatic. White balance is probably set to auto. Yep, it is. And let's see. You can turn on the grid, use the standard grid, and you can use the center point so you know where you are pointing the thing to. And let's see. So the grid and flash, you can choose to have the flash on or off. Auto. I think I'm gonna leave it to off. And of course, if you're doing video, you can choose to have the flash always on, which is neat. But it doesn't do much because the flash range is very limited. All right, let's go back, and that's all your camera settings. I haven't figured out what this is more. This is the gimbal. Okay, scene mode. Okay, there's walk mode, which is the standard. Not sure what the sports actually does, but I'm gonna stick to standard. So if you're doing sports, I guess you can use the sport mode. The gimbal, pitch lock. It locks the pitch, I guess. Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's a gimbal setting. Over here is flip back to the selfie, and over here you can see all your pictures. Review all the pictures and videos that's being stored on the device, and sometimes sync to DJI Go app. Over here, of course, I think we already went through camera settings. Yeah. And then there is settings for calibration. Over here, stick control direction. Using free. So in free mode, you can go like top left and bottom right, that kind of a movement. But if you use horizontal and vertical, it's limited to up and down, left and right for the stick. I think preferably I would leave it at the free. And you can invert the stick operations if you're used to some other device, like when you're operating a drone and stuff like that. Mobile device check, I'm not quite sure what that's at. I think maybe that just means it checks if you have a device actually placed onto the gimbal for it to work. So that's the gimbal settings. In general, you can check the version, you can check the battery. So right now it says the battery charged twice because I just did that, and the battery's current voltage, which is pretty decent. We have 65% battery left. I've been playing with it for a little bit, but I think the battery actually drops fairly quickly, the juice. Just keep that in mind, especially I think if you want to do a lot of like locking action and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. The battery is not, it doesn't last as long, but now I think same with your iPhone. I mean, it's probably gonna last for as long as you need, for as long as you have the battery in your iPhone to record videos. So over here is the live. You can enable all the live features for the Facebook, Weibo, YouTube, QQ, and some other custom whatever live action that you want to set up, which is neat. So the settings is very basic and generic, and I think that actually covers all the basic functions of this device. It's actually a very simple, easy to use device. Even if you don't touch any settings, it works automatically, like very nicely. And of course, if you click that home, it goes back to your profile on the DJI. So, and the manuals are also very simplified compared to the manual options on a Phantom, on a DJI drone, which I used to own. Maybe I'll get another Mavic drone to play with, but I think I'm very content with this little Osmos device. And a couple of quirks and things I want to talk about is if you're doing vertical shooting, I mean, it supports vertical shooting, but it actually uses a lot of your hand energy, because you're gonna get tired very quickly if you're doing vertical shooting like that. And my hand is already sore from holding it like that. So keep that in mind. And unfortunately, you can't mount the Osmos Mobile onto the tripod like that, because the mounting hole is right over there. So the only way you can mount it on the tripod is like that, with the ball head going this way. And I think the new Osmos Mobile 2, you'll be able to actually hold the camera straight and have it go like vertically, because this one stops over here. And with the Osmos 2, you'll be able to do it vertically, which is really nice. I think it actually, let's see, actually goes like over there. So that the actual gap for the Osmos Mobile 2 is longer. From what I know, the Osmos Mobile 2 is also going to have a longer battery life, but it's going to be built-in battery. The battery life is going to be 3 times as long as the current model. They claim to have a 15-hour battery life, and this one runs maximum of 4.5 hours maximum. But ideally, I think it runs for at least 2 to 3 hours in one charge. So that's something to keep in consideration. The Osmos Mobile 2, instead of the magnesium bodies over here on the gimbals and the motors, it's actually plastic. And this one, the original version, is all metal. And the Mobile 2 version is going to be slightly lighter, but because of the battery, they're going to have very similar weight. And in terms of the gimbal performance, the Osmos Mobile 2 and the Mobile 1, it should all be exactly the same. There's no difference in the gimbal performance. They all perform extremely well under all kinds of situations. So there you have it. If you guys have any questions about this little nice neat Osmos device, feel free to ask me in the comment section. And I think from now on, all my videos that I'm gonna make is gonna be very nicely balanced. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using this device for my new content. So please hit like or subscribe if you want to see more similar videos like this. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.